next deal of the month is Eric Leach. Eric, take it away.
Hello.
Please. Thank you.
Alrighty. My name's Eric Leach. It's my wife Renata over here. And we recently got a quadplex. It's in Melbourne, Florida. It's a 4-unit, it's a mixed-use apartment complex. So it had 3 residential units, and one of the units was rented out with a commercial unit. It was like a hair salon. And it was in part of the area that's considered downtown Melbourne, where they're revitalizing the area. So there's, I'll tell you a little bit more about it later, but there's a grant program that we were able to get some money reimbursed on the rehab. And then we purchased it in a land trust. Next, please. So we acquired the property for $40,000, and that included a $15,000 down payment and owner financing at $25,000. The owner finance was $350 a month for 5 years, and a balloon payment of $4,000 at the end at 0% interest. So it was just straight payments. Every payment goes towards the principal, and in 5 years it'll be free and clear. Let's see, closing costs were about $1,700. The repairs were pretty extensive. They came in at $29,000. We just finished the repairs. Took us about 60 days to repair it, but we got it back in August 23rd. And what we did is once we closed, we found out about the grant program through the city, and we started applying for it. And actually took us about a month and a half to get through the paperwork and meeting with different councils, and but it was worth it for us. We had a low holding cost, so we decided to wait for construction because we couldn't pull any permits until we had the grant approved. Let's see. So the estimated value, we're going to hold it as a cash flow property for us, but based on the net operating income and using a 12% cap rate of 12%, we're estimating the value now to be about $116,000, which we created about $55,000 of equity. The cash flow is going to be about $9,900 a year, and we used 8% for the vacancy, 8% for the maintenance, and 8% for property management. And then when we look at all of our cash that we invested, the cash flow over the cash invested, it's about an ROI of 27%. So we're pretty happy with that. Next slide, please. And here's just a few of the before pictures. You can see on the left, I mean, the property was in really bad shape. Most of the windows were boarded up, and back, please. Most of the windows were boarded up. We found some blankets and pillows and stuff inside once we closed. I mean, people were squatting in there, and it's been vacant for some time. So it was a really bad eyesore for everyone in the neighborhood. And when we went over there and did some inspections, we kind of looked around and ended up talking to some of the neighbors and got some information, and that's actually how we heard about the program through the city for the grant. So it's always a good idea to kind of meet the neighbors in the area and give them your phone number. They kind of like to keep an eye out for it, and they like to see that someone's bringing up the area and fixing up property. There's the after picture. We just finished up like a few days ago. Picture's a little dark, but you can see we replaced, we just used like basic Lowe's cabinets and retiled the bathroom, and turned out really nice. We had a GC out of here locally that I knew, and then we hired some of the contractors that were local to Melbourne. So I think that's about it.
How did you find it?
I got it through an email list that I'm part of. It's part of Chris McClatchy's Real Wealth program, and it's actually a education program I took, and he teaches about 0% financing, and it was a deal that came through the email list, and I jumped on it right away. And I've done quite a few rehabs, but this one's a little bit bigger than we've done in the past, but we wanted to take it on. I'm sorry? We just started listing it for rent, so it's available. We used conservative rent numbers to kind of figure out our cash flow. And then once we finish paying it off in 5 years, the cash flow will be about $14,000 a year, $14,000 to $15,000 a year, after all expenses, hopefully. So, all right. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks very much, everybody.